Greetings, everyone. We just finished our Luigi's Mansion playthrough, kinda. And
No, we recorded that like
No,
5 months ago.
I meant in
Yeah.
terms of uploading it.
Okay, sure, whatever. I guess.
So, of course, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon just came out, so...
How do you like our classy timing?
That
Our
was totally...
completely
That was
unintentional,
that was totally
yet
planned.
classy timing.
That was totally planned.
So, did you guys all get the game launch day?
No,
I got
I
it
waited
a
a
few
week.
days. I got it a few days later.
I got it launch day. Actually,
And you're
it
the
was a
and
gift.
you're the
Oh.
you've done the least amount out of the three of us.
I know, but what you see, the plan was that I was in Pittsburgh actually on the Sunday the game came out, and me and my buddy Jacob, we went to the Best Buy. I had every intention of getting the game myself because I figured we might do something like this, and we figured we just got finished the Luigi's Mansion commentary, so I figured, okay, let me get it launch day, and I'll start playing it on the train ride home. And my roommate ended up actually buying it for me, and very thankful for that, Jacob, if you're listening. Thank you. But the thing is that I didn't get much sleep before the train ride back home,
So
so
you
I
slept.
ended up sleeping on the train ride back home. Then I started playing it, passed the first mansion, and then I had to work on the Zelda Marathon. End of story.
So, Ted, you're pretty much on the last area.
Yeah, pretty much. I got it as an early birthday gift on Monday. Yeah, Monday. And I've just been sort of playing it in my free time. I've put about 10 hours into it.
Yeah,
10 to 12.
I've beaten it. So,
It's
this
good.
It's an impressions video. It's not so much of a full review of it, but our current thought. Because if I recall correctly, when we did the Kid Icarus impressions, I didn't beat the game.
I was the only one who had beaten the
You were
game.
the only one that beat it.
too.
Ryan
I
played more than I did.
I was
And,
about halfway or so.
Yeah, so this is nothing new. But what do you guys think of the structure of the game so
The
far?
mission
That
structure
seems to be
doesn't-
the thing that most people have the biggest issue with, is how they changed the structure to a mission style instead of.
I can understand why they did that, considering it's on a handheld. You have to give them plenty of times to put it down.
Yes.
But at the same time, that mission structure doesn't work for what is essentially an explorer game.
I feel like it also, just due to the way that the game's structured, it also leads to a lot of dick moves. Because, especially when it comes to the boos that you're trying to find, and overall the boos are generally better, because you're not, going back and forth between rooms or any of that shit. But still, there are way too many times where the boo will be hidden in a room that you don't have to go into to complete the mission. So, you'll have to go, 3 minutes out of your way to find a boo in a room that you'd never think to look in, because you're supposed to be on the entire other half of the area. That's happened to be more times than it should have already at this point.
Are
Yep.
collecting the booze mandatory for
No.
You unlock an extra mission.
If you get all the booze
Yeah,
in each
I know
individual area, you
that,
get
but
the mission.
I'm talking about in terms of ending or anything like that. Does anybody know?
No.
They said, EGAD said something like they'll get, they're stronger the more there are or something, so, does it affect the strength of the final boss or anything?
Not that I can tell.
But what was
Also, the gems are useless.
are they? Because I wasn't exactly sure. At first,
If you get all the
because-
gems in an area, you get a Luigi statuette in the vault. That's it.
so it's bragging rights.
I guess. But they're useless.
What does the bones do?
Yeah, that took me the longest time to figure out, too. It's an extra life.
They're auto life.
Yeah.
If you
Wait,
die
if
while
you
you
die-
have a bone in your inventory, the dog will come
out and wake
revive
you
you.
up. Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah,
it?
it took me
Yeah.
literally to the last mission to actually die in a mission to find that out.
I didn't find out till way later in the first mansion. I was like, oh, it's
No,
auto.
literally the last mission of the game before I figured that out. Because I only ever died to bosses. I never died in any actual mission.
If you die in a mission, you have to start that entire mission all over again.
Yeah,
'cause
there's no checkpoint, which is kind of bullshit.
the first time I died was that mission with the 3 gardener ladies, and so that's a long mission. So I died at the end of it, and it was like, oh, I have to do that. I have to do 16 minutes of all that work all over again. That's kind of bullshit, Nintendo. Just
I
saying.
imagine it would be. Since I obviously haven't gotten that far into the game, I haven't experienced that frustration yet. I'm not going to say I never will, but yeah, I can. That's something easily. Even the first game had checkpoints, didn't it?
No,
you
could
got
pretty much
to
just
save
whenever
you
want.
ran into a toad
Or caught a
whenever
boo.
you caught a boo. But seeing as you caught a boo after every single room, you pretty much had a checkpoint after every single room.
Yeah.
So really, the only backtracking you'd have to do was walking to the room that you are already in. So you know what, like, no big deal. In this, you have to clear out all the rooms that you've already done again. You have to fight all the ghosts you already have to done again. If you already caught the boo, you have to catch that motherfucker again, get all the treasure, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Treasure is also incredibly worthless in this game.
No, you get power-ups.
Yeah, but once you get the 5th power-up, it becomes completely useless.
Well, I had only gotten the 5th power-up right before the end of World 4.
I got it while going into World 3.
Oh, really? You must have found more treasure than I
Well,
did.
because I like to take my time and just examine shit.
That's what I'm doing. I'm pretty much always holding down the fucking R trigger.
Yeah.
No, I find myself holding on the dark light more often than I should, because it's
Yeah,
like, I
I
know there's something there. There has to be something there.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the 5th power up by like the 3rd mission. I'm like, well, gold's completely useless. I'm not gonna bother looking for it anymore if it's not gonna affect anything.
See, the indicator to use the dark light on something is like there's like a burnt shadow on the floor, or is it?
Basically, whenever something seems to be missing, if there's shadows where there shouldn't be shadows, or if there's a mirror, hidden stuff will still appear in the mirror.
Yeah.
The easiest way for doors is the look on the map. Is there a door signal there? But the door's not there. Well, use a dark light.
This game really does encourage you to check everything, but at the same time, I also think that kind of works to its detriment because some of these levels can outright. Again, I'm only past the first mansion, but one particular mission that took me fucking forever to do was I think it was the one where you actually had first access to the dark light.
Mission 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one
took forever.
Up to that point, every mission I was doing took me like 15 minutes each. So I was like, okay, this will work. Very convenient if we ever decide to do a brain scratch playthrough. And then I get to the 4th mission and it's like 30 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I will say though, like even though I am looking forward to the rest of the game, the first mansion drags.
Yeah, honestly, the game does get much better after the first mission.
Yeah. And
because the first area is less. What? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's something I haven't experienced before, mind you. Like I'm used to a few games that I like dragging in the beginning. It's just that here it was more noticeable than others.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I guess it's because that I've played the first Luigi's Mansion, so all this seems a bit redundant to me. But you know, at the same time, I can't really give it too much flack because it's there to get new players into it.
It's been so long, so.
It's also been 12 years, so there's a whole bunch of kids who probably never even really had the chance to play the first Luigi's Mansion, which probably makes both of you guys feel pretty damn old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the game does get much better after the first mansion, I think. Well, less mansion and more slightly oversized house. It's really, game shouldn't be called Luigi's Mansion. It should be called Luigi's slightly larger than average houses in a mine.
Hotel.
No, the last mansion looks more like a mansion.
Why do you disagree?
There's a lot of random warp points in it, but at least
yeah, whoever designed that mansion certainly liked playing Portal. But the thing is, yeah, map-wise, it's the biggest one. Problem is, like the basement and the underground areas, you only go in for one mission, so the rest of the missions are literally just like 2 floors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, like, when I was chasing the fucking dog in the basement,
you never go back down there again.
Please tell me they don't hide booze in later missions down there.
No, you can't possibly go down there in any other missions.
Oh,
so.
They have their convenient spiderwebs blocking the way or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
How long did it take you, Ryan?
It took me about 15, 16 hours. Mind you, I'm one of those very slow, methodical people. I like to search for everything.
It seems to be like a 15 to 20 hour game.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good length.
I did have to look a few things up.
I kept a guide on standby because I wanted to find things by myself, but more than once I just got fucked over by booze being in the wrong room. So it's just like I'm not putting up with that shit. I don't want to have to backtrack through these levels again. So I'm just gonna look up where the boos are, just so I don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, the only thing I looked up while I was going, as I was actually going, not because I was stuck, but I just looked up how many gems could you possibly get in this mission. 3. Okay, so I know there's three gems.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't look up where they were, how you got them, or whatever. Just you can get 3 on this mission. Okay.
I will admit that I actually got pretty fucking lost. I think it was like the very first mission actually, because I forgot that you could check ceilings.
Yeah.
So here I am wandering for like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, you didn't do the.
There's a door here. It's locked. I got to get a key. Where's the fucking key?
Ceiling fan.
Oh right, I can look up. Oh, there's the key on the ceiling fan.
I found that it took me for the first mansion. It took me. The control was a little awkward, but by the time I got to the second mansion, it felt very natural.
Hotel Luigi.
It's just like
the controls. I don't think are actually that bad.
No,
it's just fine. Like the lack of a C-stick is jarring at first, but you really don't need it by the time you get to the second mansion. You're already. I was already accustomed to.
Also, the strobe light is such a godsend.
Yeah, now you don't have to like hold down the button and then
hope the flashlight actually stuns them.
The strobe light, yeah, it's just better.
Does the dark light, does that do anything to
ghosts?
It'll reveal ghosts that you can't see. But when it comes to like fighting them,
you will also come against like greenies who will have like sunglasses on or carrying a bucket on their head.
Yeah, I've already encountered those.
If you use
I gotta say I do like.
If you use a dark light on those greenies that are having stuff, they'll become visible and you can suck them in.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Don't you have to suck off the?
Well, the glasses ones you have to suck off.
Yeah, it depends on what they're holding.
Sometimes
you have to suck off their accessories.
Yeah.
And such.
Have you guys utilized the 3D at all?
I keep the 3D. I keep the 3D on like half slider for every game I play.
I did it for. Honestly, I really never cared about 3D in any of the 3DS games, honestly. But since Luigi's Mansion was always their testing ground for 3D, I was curious enough to have it on for the first mansion. Yeah, it works pretty well, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is one of those games where the 3D does actually make a difference. Because for the first off, the mansions have always been designed with a 3D aesthetic in mind. So they've got like this pop-out diorama that actually looks cool in 3D. And also some things are easier to spot in 3D than others. Like sometimes there's like little things on the wall that you can suck up that are like cloth painted like the door, and it's easier to tell that it's fake when you have the 3D on and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's not. The 3D is not mandatory by any means, but
no, I had it off after the first mansion, but I did play the first mansion with 3D on just because I felt like I owed it to the game since Luigi's Mansion was their big 3D testing ground for so many years.
I did activate 3D at certain points too, and fortunately, all those times that I did, it wasn't so much of a gimmick as rather it was actually heavily utilized in a few instances, and yeah, it's actually pretty nice.
The enemy going on a bit more about the combat. The enemy variety kind of sucks.
There's yeah, pretty much. There's like 6 different types of ghosts.
Yeah, there's
palette swaps, or they have a hat, or they have a shovel.
Yeah. There's the greenies, the big red ones, the sneakers that are purple, and the blue hidey ones. And you'll occasionally come across like a mini boss, but usually not.
I will say though that even though I'm not very far into the game, that I was kind of missing the mansion, the painting ghosts.
Yeah, the portrait ghosts. I felt the portrait ghosts gave the first game a lot of personality. Because these ghosts, yeah, they animate very well and they'll do goofy stuff if you spy on them. But ultimately, they don't really do anything.
Yeah, they're just there to provide a short gag and into the vacuum.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this game does definitely have a whole lot of personality to it. Like, I found myself laughing all the time when I was playing this, just because Luigi's the perfect butt monkey for this sort of thing. Like, the farther you get into the game, the more hilarious the stuff happens to him. Like, they always have clever slapstick with Luigi. Like, when he's examining something to go into a door, and then he'll be, like, swapped through, like, a secret passageway when he's not looking or something like that.
No, I love the second boss cutscene. When you're on top of the hotel, he climbs up and there's the hatch onto the roof. You see it in there, he's just kind of looking around. She's like, "Oh, this isn't good." He just kind of knocks the hatch down with his flashlight, and the ghost is right behind the hatch.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's like I saw it coming, but I still laughed. Yeah.
Graphically wise, I think the game is pretty decent. It's not as I don't think the game is as atmospheric though as the first one, to be honest.
No, that's probably handheld restrictions.
I would assume so. I think it would have something more to do with the developers, because the 3DS is shown that we can get some pretty decent looking games, and I'll point to
but you
know,
don't
like Metal Gear
Kid Icarus.
Solid 3 or Kid Icarus or Resident Evil Revelations for graphically impressive games on a handheld. But this one, I felt that I'm not sure whether or not because they just had not enough time.
I think they focused more on the animation rather than the processing power, because this game animates beautifully.
Well, the animation's really nice, but sometimes it's more. I think that there's frame rate issues, because sometimes the game runs remarkably more fluidly than at other times.
It depends on how many ghosts are on screen, honestly.
Yeah, but it's just like I'll go into one room and Luigi will just sort of be chugging at a normal game pace. And then I'll go into a slightly smaller room and Luigi's going at like 80 frames per second or something ridiculous like that. It's like, whoa, and it's sort of jarring there.
It's distracting slightly, not too much.
It doesn't really affect the game too badly, though.
Yeah. It doesn't really. It's just sort of odd that if they had just a little bit more processing power, it could run that smoothly all the time.
No, but that's the thing, though. I think they do. It's just that I don't think they fully utilize their talent for this in terms of graphics. It's not it's not a deal breaker, obviously, but it's just something I noticed.
Yeah, the game still looks just fine.
The game looks just fine, but it's just something I can't help but notice when I'm playing the game and I compare it to the predecessor.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else is there. Want to go over locations a bit?
Well, the first mansion's pretty much just Luigi's mansion.
Slightly oversized house.
Luigi's slightly oversized house. Yes.
Yeah. A question, because I know like the first mansion just pretty much acts as the tutorial place. It's one big giant tutorial to teach everybody. But is there any other new mechanics that the game teaches you throughout the other mansions that will cause EGAD to interrupt you every 5 fucking minutes?
That gets better later
that gets
on.
Better, yeah. He will occasionally, depending on what it is.
Really, you don't ever get new abilities. It's just using the environment in different ways.
Yeah, like they're balloon flowers or something.
Yeah.
So you can suck them in, and suddenly you can, blow with the vacuum, and you have you can fly in the air for a little bit.
And then there's also like buckets of water that you can like splash to make plants grow and stuff like that.
But it's not that common anymore.
But does do you ever get like the ice or flamethrower upgrades you would in the first one?
Nope.
Aw.
I don't know why they got rid of those, actually.
I think it's more that the puzzles were designed around using the environment, and if you had a constant source of water and fire, it'd kind of break it.
Which I do like, to be frank here, because the mission in the mansion where you had to burn the spider webs, where you had to utilize the spider balls as sort of a makeshift torch.
Yeah.
And you're burning insects and
that boss kicked my ass.
The first boss?
The first boss out of all the ones I've played is the best boss in the game.
It's the best boss, but it's also the hardest.
I think the problem with it is that it takes too long at times.
My problem was that if you so much as tap the little spider from hanging from the ceiling, Luigi will drop whatever he's
there's
carrying.
the thing, though. Because I don't recall when I first played the game, but does the game ever at any point tell you that while you're holding something with your vacuum, you can jump with the B button?
Yeah. No, but that's something I found.
I found out by accident, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did to avoid the spiders while I was carrying the ball back.
That's what I tried to do, but I guess I just wasn't as good at it as you.
Well, the thing is, I found myself. It takes a really long time to learn the jumping, the jumping timing, because more than once I found myself jumping at the wrong time and then just still getting hit anyway. And also, every time you jump, you lose your vacuum meter. So you might end up dodging attacks makes killing enemies take longer.
Yeah.
too.
Well, I never had to jump so far while I'm sucking up enemies. I've only done it while I was carrying an object.
Yeah.
But the boss fight though, I really did. I liked, but at the same time, I think it overstayed its welcome by the end.
I think it was a bit hard for where it was in the game.
It's better than the second, third, and fourth bosses. I can tell you that.
No, the second boss is okay. It would have been better as a first. It would have been better as a first boss.
In comparison to the first one, because the first boss takes like what 10 minutes, and the second one you can get done in like 4.
Yeah.
The third boss is just a mook rush, and the fourth boss is bullshit. Fuck the fourth boss.
The second boss should have been the first boss.
Yeah, the second boss should have been the first boss, and they should have just cut the fourth boss out of the game because it's awful.
No, I didn't find it that bad.
I'm curious. What is it?
You have a turret. You have a turret that shoots bombs.
Bombs.
Finally, Luigi's getting his respect.
So you're chasing after this ice ghost that's kind of swirling around, that's carved up into chunks. You have to blast away each chunk.
The thing is that you have a limited number of bombs that you can shoot. The guy regenerates health, and if you fail shooting the bomb into his mouth at the end, which I swear the game's really fucking picky on that, because I more than like 5 times I shot a bomb into his mouth, it went into the mouth, but the game didn't register that, so I took damage. And then whenever you take damage, it like cuts all of your bombs in half or something. And then I died like 10 times on that fucking.
I only died once.
Fuck that boss.
I didn't have as much problem with that.
That boss is bad, and they should feel bad.
No, the boss they should feel bad about is the third one because it's a mook rush.
Just a common mook rush, like
pretty much.
Sworn by greenies,
reds, yeah.
Yeah, it's lame.
Yeah. Don't get so excited, Luigi. Those were the easy ones.
Oh man. But I take it this won't be a very long video, obviously, because we're still all rather. Ryan's the only one here that's actually beaten it.
The last boss is actually really good, though.
The last boss is better or worse than the first one?
Better.
Okay, good. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Also, people on my Twitter feed keep telling me that the 5th mission in the last mansion's really hard.
Kinda.
What is it?
Basically, you have to run around to each room, catching the ghosts in each room. But you have a time limit because apparently King Boo was trying to like rip it from this dimension or something.
Uh-huh.
So you have to catch all of them before, and the last area is quite hard.
Oh.
But other than that, it's the only mission I actually died in. But the bone brought me back to life, so I was happy.
So it sounds like your typical marathon run.
Yeah.
And it's one of those. There's no checkpoints, obviously.
Yeah, unless you get the bone.
You fuck up at the very end.
Yeah.
Your ass is on the way. Okay, I'm not looking forward to that, but
it's the only mission I found to be somewhat unfair. But it's one out of an entire game, so
yeah. Overall though, it's been over 12 years since the first game came out. Would you consider this a worthy successor to?
Yes,
well, in a lot of ways,
no.
It's better than the first game, but
and
also
in a
few
worse.
key ways, it's worse. Because I feel like even in a lot of ways, it does have a lot of. It has a ton of personality, and I think that just like the first game, it has a ton of personality, which is. It's really refreshing because it reminds me that Mario series does have. There's a reason why people like this shit. There's charm and stuff, and it makes me smile and laugh. And
Luigi has a personality. He's in a cardboard box like his brother.
So yeah, it's just like why can't? It's just weird. It's like I play games like this, and I wonder why couldn't Mario 3D Land or New Super Mario Brothers make me laugh this much?
Yeah.
And
so look on the bright side, Luigi. You have a bushy mustache.
Egad is a fucking dick.
Egad's very snarky in this game.
He's a dick. I mean, seriously.
I'd feel the same way if you were introduced in one game and you haven't been seen since.
I would allow you to use.
Nobody counts partners at a time.
I would like you to use my new and largely untested pixelator.
I like the one that's like, Luigi, you've done this a dozen times now. You don't need to cower in fear every time. Okay? Ready? On the count of 3, I'm going to use the pixelator.
1,
ready?
Go.
3.
Yeah, this is definitely something that goes to show that it doesn't hurt when you inject personality into one of your franchises, Nintendo, because that ends up being the one thing people love to talk about the most. And me and Ryan were discussing the ending. And
no spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. But it caught us off guard. But but it's only because it's the first time they've done something like that. And
Mario and Luigi actually talk to each other with words. It's not a text bubble. They actually speak to each other. Mind you, they're very short sentences, but they're sentences nonetheless.
Yeah, they actually play the game, and you find out something about that Italian gibberish from the Mario Luigi games. What?
But no, actual words are being spoken. That blew my mind. Because the Mario characters never talk.
It's weird that voice acting blows your mind.
Well, because it's Mario.
You don't expect Charles Martinet to do anything but it's me, yappada. It's like he's lived off of wahoos and yippies for the past 20 years. So it's weird when it's like have they just not done it because Charles Martinet doesn't actually know how to talk? They finally broke through, taught him basic grammar, and that's why he's able to say things like
he graduated. He finally graduated.
Bad doggy and oh no.
Yeah, it's like I know they've done a few commercials with Mario Talk, but as far as games go,
I was going to ask you, have you guys ever played the Mario vs. Donkey Kong?
Yes.
Some of it. I know he's like, get back here, you stupid monkey.
He speaks a lot of full sentences in that game.
Yeah, it's very rare where he speaks full sentences in a game.
Well, I think the reason why this is so odd because he's actually communicating with someone.
Yeah.
He's not just talking to himself.
Well, most of the time he's basically talking to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just weird to hear them actually converse. Because that's never happened before.
Now we can take that a step further, and maybe we could have Mario and Luigi talking to, like, I don't know, someone in a platformer, maybe? Or is that pushing our luck a little bit too far?
Whoa, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. One baby step at a time.
Yeah. Took us fucking 30 years for wahoos.
Yeah.
So when can we expect a commentary?
I don't have a 3DS recorder, so... Or a DS
it's either against me or Ted.
Yeah.
Virtual rock, paper, scissors. John?
No, I don't see how this is going to work.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 50. Whoever is closest gets to do it.
26.
32.
John, you're...
Damn it!
Well, that means I have to record the game. Okay, I can get to that at the end of the year.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, I mean, Ted, if you want to do it when you finish for whatever reason, go ahead.
Yeah, I figure why not. Everybody and their grandma's LP in the game right now. Yeah. That's just how people work their things. I mean, it's like us with Sonic games. Yeah. People like to do the early bird special on these sort of things, but we're not going to do that just yet.
Yep.
We still have to do Kid Icarus. That came out last year.
Oh, yeah. The same applies to Kid Icarus. When Kid Icarus first came out, you suddenly got all these Let's Players playing the game at once.
Yeah, but none of them with decent commentary. I don't think I've seen
Zing!
Well, no, I'm talking about like screen quality. I'm pretty sure all of them have been off-cam.
Okay.
Emil's planning to do his, well, I think he wanted to do it. I'm not sure if he's planning anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
That means we have to have our eventually be before his, so we can say that we were first. Oh, speaking of, isn't it weird how eerily similar the 3DS and DS's life cycles have been so far? Because at the very beginning of the DS's life cycle, there was nothing to play, and then just like at one point, about a year or two later, there's just everything came out for it, and it became amazing. And it's the same thing with the 3DS, where nothing came out for it for like the first year, and then Kid Icarus came out, and suddenly I don't have enough time to play all the games I want to.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that the best 3 games on the system from Nintendo are Kid Icarus, Fire Emblem Awakening, and this.
Let's see.
That's just very much the case with just about every Nintendo console that comes out, which I only hope continues with the Wii U.
I haven't turned on my Wii U in months.
When the fuck is Pikmin 3 coming out?
When are we going to have a game to play?
When the fuck is it supposed to come out? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, but I figured this wasn't going to be a very long video, but
I think
from what I've played, it's a good game. Pick it up.
I think the only thing we did.
It's not a perfect game. It's very similar to the first Luigi's Mansion, where it'll make you smile and you'll have fun, but it's not the best game ever. But I'd still recommend you try it out anyway.
Yeah. The only thing we didn't go over was areas, I guess.
Well, then you can just discover them for yourself, viewer.
Oh.
Or we could just spoil them for you.
Luigi's commentary a year from now.
Luigi's slightly larger mansion, Luigi's hotel.
Hotel Luigi.
Luigi's
random clock factory.
Luigi's random mine.
And Luigi's
slightly bigger mansion.
Yes, Luigi's slightly bigger mansion.
Coming this fall to the N Gauge.
What's next? Luigi's alleyway.
Luigi's alleyway, Luigi's Stadium, Luigi's Coliseum.
No, Luigi Coliseum, because that's when everything goes dark and gritty and bullshit.
Luigi's Nightmare on Elm Street, where he walks around Elm Street catching ghosts in all the houses.
Luigi's Asylum, Luigi's City,
Luigi Country,
Luigi World. It goes on and on.
Yeah. Soon Luigi will rule the entire universe. Super Luigi Galaxy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Let's just hope that it doesn't take another 12 years to get another one. So
not necessarily a Luigi's Mansion, but another game. Even if it's not starring Luigi, another Mario game that has this much personality.
No,
I'd be happy with that.
I like the series enough that I would like a third game. But, not right away, but I don't want to wait 12 years for another one.
I think if they're going to make another one, I would want it for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Just so we can get that graphical finesse that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Refining
because even the first
Luigi, you want, but
because even the first
really
Luigi's
like
Mansion
still
even the first Luigi's Mansion still looks really good.
Yeah.
Do you think this game looks better or worse than the first Luigi's Mansion? Because there's definitely at least more variety in this one, but the texture quality is a little bit lower.
Well, handheld versus console.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying earlier with I don't think that's the 3DS's fault. I think that's more of the developer's fault.
No, I think it's a mix of both. You don't want to put too much on a handheld screen because you only have so big a screen.
Yeah.
You can't cram that much in there without confusing the player because it's like, where's this? Where's that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, ultimately, I found it a good game. Some ways it's better than the first, some ways it's not. So, if you like the first one, you'll probably like this.
Yeah. I go agree with that.
Okay, then.
So how we end this before it gets any more socially awkward.